Hey everyone, this is Tracy Lewis with Stuff and Things, and as you can see, it is paper pumpkin time. It's pretty early in the morning here, very overcast. I think it's 62 degrees out, so I am taking advantage of this lovely cool day. It's supposed to rain, and I'm going to get this paper pumpkin done. I believe we have bunnies and chicks on the cover, so it's something to do with spring or Easter. And there's its name, Sweet Springtime. I always try to avoid looking at any alternatives or any videos. This is pretty early in the month though. It's only the 17th and I received this yesterday afternoon. So I had to spend the evening getting cleaned up. I had a huge mess from my Valentine videos and had to put all of that away. So oh, he's not. Most people are dressed in parkas, especially the bike riders. These people are walking, and they are wearing, he was a tee and a t-shirt, but she is in a long-sleeved, thick something. All right, the spot for this month is Early Espresso. And I'm going to, they no longer do the black lines on the stamp sets, so I'm going to change a little bit the order that I do this, because I know now that in this packet is some line art for us to look at, which is great. Absolutely perfect. Let's see if we can find the line art. Is it underneath? Oh, yes it is. So, this is a much better way to view the stamp set. We have Lily's the bunny, the chick, perfect bunny and perfect chick. I am really picky at my artwork. A lot of the bunnies are, you know, like kind of look like a chocolate Easter bunny. I just want a real looking bunny. So that's a perfect bunny. Springtime greetings, welcome baby, and happy Easter. Perfect sentiments to go with these images. We've got some tear and tape and some linen thread. White dots, double-sided dots, or adhesive circles and dimensionals. Let's see, what is this? These, oh, we've got skinny cards. Have we ever had skinny cards? I am not sure. So these will get cut. We have both sides so that I can trim them up and put them on A2 cards. We do have gift boxes that can also be cut up. I still, even though I am now homed permanently, I do not have a need for a lot of 3D projects. I did some 3D boxes for Christmas, and they still are sitting right here by my desk. So I am not going to put these together at all. I will be making them into A2 size cards. I see a very cute spring wreath. So we have a flower wreath. Oh, okay, so I am not sure if this whole thing comes out because I feel some resistance. And let me take, there's a square piece. Let's take it apart this way. I might have to look at the instructions just to figure this out. I don't want to waste any material. So this, something a little different. All right, let me move the, and it appears to be 3 skinny cards and 3 boxes. And there is a frame. This has to come all the way out, I'm thinking. It's somewhat of an adventure. All right, so there's a wreath, there's a daffodil, and I see only one more of these, but I'm thinking there should be 3. So I've got 2 different colors of envelopes with 2 different plaids. This is, oh, we have some regular cards too. Look at that. Okay, so we have 3 skinny cards, and the green check material goes all the way down. I will be saving these for the odd size cards for sure. And then we have pink going all the way down. These I could choose to break up, or this isn't my favorite color in the world. I do end up using it a lot though, so it's possible I will keep these envelopes. And 3 more very cute bunny fronted card bases that I can cut in half and use the pink for something else. And so that's interesting that I only received 2. Oh no, I think there's 3. Here we go. So as I was thinking, there's 3 of all these pieces. There's 3 of this different design. And you've got, I think all of these go on the gift boxes. I'm not sure where that would go. So lots of pieces to play with this time, and with a little infusion of like a berry burst to go with the berry burst on the wreath. Before I go away, I am curious about the color palette that Stampin' Up picked. So before I go away, I'm going to read that to you, since the instructions are already easy access. So, supplies for 6 cards and 3 boxes. We already knew that. Berry Burst, it is Berry Burst. Crumb Cake, Daffodil Delight, Early Espresso, Garden Green, Granny Apple Green, Pecan Pie, Petal Pink, and Very Vanilla. So, I will go away now and start working on materials and supplies, and I will always, of course, pop back in here with anything interesting about the supplies that I am prepping. And then, of course, after that, we will do some mixing and matching of a variety of different layouts. There will be the showcase, and then we'll be done. So stay tuned. All right, I am back. And I have a bunch of prep things to talk about. And I think I might be able to go right into layering, because I have created a bunch of materials and done some of the photography already. So as far as added materials, I picked a new, to me, die set. It is the die set that was, it's the Perennial Postage Bundle, and I believe it is in this January's catalog. So I have cut a bunch of different sizes. I'm looking right now to see them. So here we go. You're underneath my ink pad. So I have taken, these are from pieces from the box. So I have just some extra pieces. I'm trying to work with my lighting. It is evening time. Oops, sorry. And I'm trying to have the light be non-glaring. That might work. Okay, there we go. So it's not perfect. So I've cut some postage stamp shapes. Then I split them and can split the green ones if I wanted to. The reason for the splitting was to make a nice sort of gingham, soft looking double layer sentiment. I then took we have two sentiment shapes, two banners, that one and this one. So this one that's one-sided, I did a fancy treatment and I have dimensionals on the back. So I can widen this out when I actually do choose its final destination. These are going to be my spring/Easter cards. So I am doing them as I will be doing them for sending them out closer to the end of March. So those are some sentiment treatments that I did. I then took one of the bunny bases. I really, really wanted to cut this into two. I'm trying to get at least 15 to 17 cards made, but I don't think I can split this in two because the ears cross. If they didn't cross, I would be able to make this bunny be a panel and then this bunny be a panel, making them tall, slender panels. But as it is, I think I have settled on this shape, and I have been sponging the edges with crumb cake. I have also, you'll see some splatter. I have added splatter to one of the gingham backgrounds because I'm already thinking to what do I really want to make for my cards. So right here is some splatter. I did side to side splatter and then up at bottom and top. And I can either choose to have this be on the bottom or I can have it be on the top. I won't be using this springtime greetings on this type of a layout. And when I cut these into pieces, there'll be 3. So I can decide to save these panels if I want to stretch the materials out further. I haven't quite decided yet. Let's look at the pieces you can get from the box. And then we'll talk about the skinny card. So the box itself has 3 really nice panels. These pieces are the correct color of white, kind of a grayish white. So you take all those off, and I have used them for sentiments. And I also have stamped and colored a bunny and a duck, and a duckling, and we will talk about that. Or a chick, not a duckling, sorry. It's a chick. And the scallops along the top, I have been using these 2 pieces in my layouts. I have been covering these holes pop out for the box, but I've been covering them. Then you have the green panels. These green panels made these postage stamp cuts, and these panels have been making the small postage stamp cuts. But I have the set is all different sizes, so I will, as we proceed, I will be cutting more pieces. Then we have this, which I didn't do anything special with. I have a design layout to share with you using it. What else have we got? Okay, so there's creating a scene. With this, I chose boho blue for the base background, and I needed clouds. So this is just from my sets that I own. Playing in the Rain has a nice set of clouds. Waves of Inspiration have fancy clouds, and somewhere I have them. I'm not sure if I will use them, but I did dress them up and was going to show you what they look like all put together. Playing in the Rain also has a bunny. So this bunny I am considering using to make scenes with the extra pieces, with the gingham and the green grassy background with the white flowers. I might put him and his umbrella on one or two. I thought that this would make a really nice envelope stamp, and inside of the card stamp. The alternative is to use what came with the set. And boy, where's the artwork? Here it is. So much easier to see. I'm really glad that they changed. I know that, it means that we don't get to have the black imagery on the plastic itself, but I think that it will work. Having this long term is going to be really good for everybody concerned. And I don't know, I think I've seen people ask, what are we supposed to do with this? It's a small enough size. I put my instructions and the stamp set in a sleeve that is bigger. This is quite small. The other interesting thing is, if I can find the instructions, I believe they also put the artwork on the instructions, or they did for last month. I don't know where my instructions are hiding right now. Oh, here we go. Since I don't use them. Let's see. Last time I swore... Nope, no artwork on this. Oh, I know where I saw the artwork. You can go online now and download. If you get your informational email about this kit that is coming, it's kind of like a little marketing blurb. It also has a link to what is the shape of our thin stamp cases. So you can put your kit, extra pieces, the stamp set, and the instructions, and then it goes inside. You'll have to fold the instructions to fit it in. But I fold mine to go into the sleeves that I've always used. Okay, so this daffodil can also be a nice inside of the card and envelope. Okay, so now we've got the scene, and I have used, in addition to making the postcard pieces, I had 2 extra panels, because there's actually 4 panels total on this box. So 2 of the panels I used to make grass, which I will show in one of the layouts, and 2 of the panels made these postage stamp for just layering. I then have this piece I have not used yet, and it doesn't fit. We don't have a tall, skinny postage stamp, and I didn't want to get all crazy with trying to cut the postage stamp manually, where you cut one side and then you do some work and then you can cut the other side. Because you can match it up, you could do that though. And you can see that when I cut this, I had a little bit of leftover, and because I haven't figured out a use for this quite yet, I haven't worried about cleaning it off. So then we have ways to you get 6 of these little bunnies, and I still keep wanting to call these ducklings, chicks. So we have 5 of them, and I have 1 on a panel. And then we have the very cute, but a lot of extra space right here. And I have done a treatment to this for embossing folders. So this particular kit, I'm going really minimal, because I'm going to be using all these pieces, so I'm kind of zeroing in. You could always use any of the embossing folders that you want. I have used Timber 3D to dress up the chicks, and you can see that I have crumb cake because I did get wipe crumb cake using my spot. I would not use a pad on this. It'll be way too juicy. It actually came out quite dark. I picked crumb cake because I felt it would be nice and light, and it still came out quite dark. So the cloud formations, the 2 sets of clouds with Waves of Inspiration, I made fancy clouds, and I took the little swirly, you can do white on white, but I went ahead and did, I think this is gray granite is the color that I grabbed. I just grabbed whichever was closest. So I have these two clouds, and I haven't really used them. I've got 3 of these lovely wreaths, and I haven't figured out, maybe one of them I will cut in half to stretch it. I could even take 2 and cut them in half and just tuck them in aside. If I end up doing something with this one, I could see myself having the opportunity to cut this in half and maybe have it come over the top. I'm not really sure yet. So this whole idea, maybe we can work on together. There's a bunny and a chick, and I went ahead and colored these with colored pencils, just very simply, and then I can do some more fancy. I can dress them up if I want to once I put them on whatever layout they're going to be put on. I will probably be fussy cutting them. And I dotted the eye, literally the eye. So if you have any white, I use jelly rolls, any white gel pens, you can take these, the bunny's eye ends up being early espresso. So I always have a Sharpie handy, and I put a little Sharpie on first because the gel pen will pick up the early espresso because it's a dye ink. So when it gets wet, it will just saturate the gel pen ink. So I went ahead and added a little white, and then this little chick, his eye is closed, but I wanted his eye open. I didn't want him looking sleepy, so I added an eye and dotted it. And then I thought I would show you these eyes. I also want to have them look a little more alert, so I've just been putting dots on them. Any little dot in the middle will work. Let's see. So now I think that's really all. So we've got clouds. I've got the playing in the rain. You might have, there's not a lot of bunnies this year in the January catalog. So I kind of had to make do with what I had. And I have since sold a lot of my retired, the sets, like Fable Friends was a really good one, and I sold them while we were traveling, and now of course I wish I would not have, but I didn't have the room to keep everything. So I have a layout that I wanted to share. It is right here. I have dotted the eyes. I have this simple single thread bow. These are 2 sets of clouds. A third cloud set right here, that's a long cloud that I was looking for. That's on the ocean is the set that has that. So I've pretty much, with all 3 of my cloud sets, brought them out to use them. Here's what will be the background. I might go ahead and cut a tent boho blue base to attach this all to. I really wanted the grass to be in front of the bunny, and I'm afraid that this thin frame is too delicate. It's not a sturdy enough cardstock for me to pop it up and trust that it will be okay. So I will probably keep everything flat, and I already had the Springtime Greetings banner popped up on dimensionals, so something like this is what I'm thinking of, and I thought I would show you what the fun 3D clouds would look like if you perhaps were thinking, oh, I like those way better. So you would probably have to cut out an extra cloud or 2 to have this all work. And then this is where I trimmed the green in flower skinny card. Oh, and it probably wasn't the skinny card. I have a different purpose for the skinny card. It was the other pieces, the box pieces, that made these two pieces. There is a line here, but where I'm going to have the bunny and the chick, you can't really see the line. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see what I am doing. So there is a line here between, because it was two pieces. I think I could have possibly cut it into one piece, out of one piece rather than two. And then here is again the fancy clouds. They do dress it up, so if you wanted to go through the work of putting those together, you could pop everything up, explore whether or not that would look okay. And then I'm just going to bring in another cloud. So you could envision, you know, another large cloud down here, and 3 clouds would be enough. And I think any cloud formation that you decide to go with will work. And if you wanted to put a different sentiment, here is what the Happy Easter would look like. You could either make it straight. I don't think it goes on this layout as well as the Springtime Greetings banner. And you only have 6 of these floating around. Yep, 6. So that is why I created this extra layout for use on the ones that have the gingham. I figure that the gingham would be flat. Let's see if I can make a nice little space for it and leave the clouds. And then this would be popped up. Let me grab one of my little pop-ups. So I don't think this goes as well as it does with some other designs, but that is an option. And then what I've done for the embellishments, we have these matte white dots in 2 sizes. And really there's plenty, I believe, to make all of the cards that I would want. And then I took a dark crumb cake. As usual, I already lost one, so with the dark crumb cake, prefer to use the bullet nib. That's what my preference is, because these brush nibs are very delicate and they wear out really quickly, so I try to use them as little as possible. I wasn't really too worried about making these really dark, and I wasn't making sure they were consistent. Here's the 2 larger ones that I made, and I don't know where the little one went, but that's what happens when I'm mixing and matching. I've already done a bunch of photography, so I am sure that they will appear at some point tonight. So here is the white. So I haven't really gone blingy. I kind of like the, I think that the style of the artwork being painted is a more conservative look. So for me, I am just going to leave the overall appearance consistent. So no gold, no silver, no fancy sequins. I do have more dots, the matte colored dots, should I need them. I have the, I think they're called classic matte dots, if I end up making enough cards that I need more. They're a flatter dot, but they will work. All right, so I'm going to take this one away now. I probably won't make these for real, but I did a bunch of photography. I decided there will be a lot of people who like the skinny cards. So this is the chicks with the timber. Like I said, it came out really dark. It is what it is, so I'm going to have to roll with it. But I would say that you could do a light coating of crumb cake and then maybe wipe some off. Maybe dab it off with a paper towel and do a test or 2 before, because you only get 3 of these chicks. And here's how dark it got. And I did the splats first. Again, the splat is Quiet Meadow. It is the splat that I have running around here all the time on my desk. It's getting really worn because it is pretty much the splat that I use for everything. I don't even know where it has gone off to hide right now. So let's see, what would I do? I'm going to show some different things that you can do with these cute chicks. You could be really simple. I'm going to go ahead and do a pop-up though. So with this skinny, if I offset the panel with the chicks to the left, I can have springtime greetings off to the right. Then I can add the bow. Now another thing that you could do, this is long and slender, so you could wrap. There's a lot of extra space on the top and bottom. So I wouldn't mind with this one panel, somebody might end up getting a skinny card. And I might wrap the linen thread. So last month's kit, which was the Valentine kit, had a whole bunch of this thread. And I still have it sitting on my desk. So I am using this, and I haven't even dug into the roll that came with this kit. So I have enough extra material that I could do some big wraps if I wanted to do like 3 wraps and a small bow below the chicks. That is a possibility. So here's another fun way to dress this up. You could take the postage stamp pieces, put them top and bottom. Let's see if you can see that. And then I could also instead slide this over. I'm going to move this to a different. I'm going to go ahead and do the cute Happy Easter. And I have scallops. So these, between the scallops and the postage stamp pieces, you can really take this gingham and use it all over the place as just little nice extra strips. That's probably what I would be using most with. You could, if you really wanted to, if you were doing a piece of on the background that is the gingham, which we will do in a little bit, you could alternatively take a piece. This is apart from, nope, this has a seam. So this is from the box, one of the boxes, and you could do the postage stamp and have it be along the edge of any of the pieces of the gingham. So I could see the postage stamp treatment done. So you can just invert them however you need to as you put everything together. So there's another fun thing to do with that sentiment. Sadly, I feel like with the banners, if you're not using, there's the wreath that has some berry burst in it, and then there's these bunnies have some berry burst. So it's also possible that you will want to take these white dots, and with whatever you're doing with the berry burst, you will want to use, let's see, do we have berry burst? Let's see, we've got berry burst. Yep. So here's berry burst. Probably the dark will work, and you could color these to get a little bit more of the berry burst, balancing out your card. So one of these I have already cut into to make the next layout, which is, I had a piece of vellum floating on my desk. It just happens to be the right size that I could take one of the skinny fronts. Let me take this apart. trying to keep track of my dots today. Here's our boho blue, which is our base. And then we have this piece of vellum. I have not done any treatment to this particular layer here. But we have our bunny and chick. I did not have the clouds when I first did the photography for this. I could have him over here. Sometimes I like to have them off the edge, but in the photography, I think I had him centered more, just a little bit offset. And now maybe these clouds will be interesting. If I could pick them up. I think I would want to pop them up, and if you don't like those clouds, we still have a sentiment to put on here. So we could spread things out a little bit more, and then you can choose a Happy Easter. If I'm going to put that on, I'll move this cloud. Maybe this cloud can come down. We've got some daffodils. So I have popped up 2 of them, 3 of them actually. So if we want to extend our little bottom scene, I even have some photography with that skinny card with the daffodils on the top and bottom corners. We still have to play with the plain version of the chicks. So I have some photography with that, and you can do, I was enjoying the white matte dots over the tan ones, but either ones will work. See, this is where I feel that the sentiment with the berry burst is a little too much berry burst. So I was much happier when I put the white on. I'm going to first put it on very simple. I actually like these clouds. Kind of breaks up the daisy background a little bit. And if you wanted to have the daffodils offset each other, you could even have them like that so that they're in the opposite corners. And then I want to try this greetings. Probably have to do something different with the dots, but let's see. Again, for me, I feel like I need more berry burst something. All right, now, since this has happened, I'm going to pause really quick so I don't have to torture you guys while I cut out the bunny and the chick, and we're going to see how these look on this layout. I will be right back. All right, so here are the 2 colored with colored pencil, dry. I used the pieces of the box to stamp and made the eyes black so that I could get the gel pen to be white. And let's go ahead and swap out the sentiments. I think I'm gonna like springtime greetings over here. We got a daffodil that can be with it. And then the bow can be on this side. Hopefully not blocking the bunny's eyes. So I think you could color these with blends. I just didn't want to risk them being too dark, so I could still go in with the colored pencil and do more work with it. But I think it'll work for demonstration purposes. And I'm not even going to bother with that other Happy Easter. Okay, so the next fun thing is to play with the wreath. Let us see. I have a wreath that's popped up. This one here has popped up. I think you could explore the skinny card style. Here is the full skinny card. Give you some more ideas of how the skinny card would work. It just barely fits. You could decide, since it's a tall skinny card, maybe center it more like that. And since we have these cute clouds that I put together, you could just throw them wherever. Make sure they're still visible. And then we have an extra daffodil. I hate to cover the bunny's cute tail. There you go. So if you're a flower person and you have a flowery friend who would love lots of flowers, there you go. Flowers on flowers. Let us grab, since we have the skinny card, I wanted to show you what the plain chicks look like. I don't even know what the design is for the plain chicks. I still think wrapped along the bottom, 3 or 4 wraps. And I still think that these, you could do plain clouds here. Let's just do the plain ones, giving you some ideas. These clouds are kind of funky. I like this particular cloud was cut to fit its particular scene, but you get the idea. You could put the daffodils. We get quite a few daffodils to play with, the little pieces. Don't forget your dots. I have not checked postage for skinny cards. I'm assuming that this dimension that they provided for us will work with USPS with a regular forever stamp. Just be careful of your thickness. I've got 3 layers going in this daffodil. So I've got the chicks up 1, springtime greetings up another, and the daffodil up 3, and that's probably too many. Just be aware. Postage did go up. It went up in January. So expect to see that change. So the other fun thing to do, same as the fancy one, I want to show you that you can do a strip down the side, and then I have the same pieces top and bottom. Here, we haven't done this Happy Easter. And you could do white, a white scalloped if you have any scallop dies. I wish I had this. This is a nice shape. But let's just do this cloud. And we'll put a daffodil there. You can just keep dressing it up until it's what you like, or dress it down if you only have so many materials and you have lots of cards to set out. Okay, so I want to pull out, I think I'm on my last base. I want to do some different things with it. And that is, where did it go? Here it is. All right, so I went ahead and I have this base. I hope I trimmed it down. I think I did. So that it will go on a solid white. Yep. So I've already got some dots in Early Espresso. This is stamped off once. That's the first stamp. That's the second. I have a wreath, and we can add, I want to try, see how these will fit inside. See, we've covered up most of that, which is fine. And then this is the other postage stamp shape. Going to pop this up. So I would be stamping, since we get 3 of these gingham bases, I probably will end up cutting them and doing some more embossing with them. There, you could use some of the retired ones. There is a brand new flower. I don't think I've labeled it with the name. It is brand new. Here it is. And so if I were to take this gingham and cut it vertically, I would probably do some sponging on it because it doesn't match my basic white. And then I could emboss the basic white with this floral, new floral embossing folder. And then there's the basics. There's round dots, cross hatching, and then this. There's also the, okay, I ran out of disk space, so I have fixed that problem. We are almost to the finish line. I went ahead and set up this particular layout. I think that this layout, now that I've already, oh, no, I've got 3 of them. It's possible with careful placement of the splatter stamp that you might want to make your white dots darker. So I'm putting on what I've got here, which are done colored with the crumb cake dark. So there's a little scene. I'm really liking these cute clouds. I wanted to, I kind of like this whole layout. We've got the berry burst, so I am going to put on a Happy Easter. Like I said, the splatter I have already set up very specifically, and I'm not doing that design quite yet. So there's with the berry burst, with the 2 berry burst little floral elements. And then the final one is springtime greetings. You can put it at an angle. Put him down by the bunny. So some ideas that I haven't even tried yet. I do want to get to putting my layout that I really wanted on here. Trying to get these out of, I noticed that this left side, when I looked at what was filmed, it was really dark over here. So I've done the lighting tweak again for evening time and cleaned up my area over here on the left. I didn't realize it was so messy to you guys. All right, so another layout. Another thing I did on this that I noticed is I took the espresso, my spot, the used spot. I don't open the new spots anymore. And I ran along the edges for some color treatment. Nope, that won't go that way. This one I haven't actually done a design on the pink. I was thinking is this too big? Too big. This is what happens when I go off book. Is this small enough? I need to find a small enough piece of the green to have it be a layer. I even think like a small strip of it. And then oh, I remember a design that I did. So let's pretend that these chicks aren't here. What did I do? I did this earlier. I think I have photography of it though. So you will see it at the end, how I ended up doing it. I actually put the bunny and the chick over the top and made another layer. So that was kind of fun. And I have my cloud that I would then pop up. This is a little less florally. I'm trying to come up with some non-floral options for people who maybe don't want so much a floral. I'm going to add that. I would probably pop up the timber 3D layer as well. See, this is what happens. I get going and I just become the mad scientist and don't follow anything that I told myself I was going to do. So there you go. Another design. Okay, what did I really do all the splatter for? I did the splatter like this for my bunnies. And they go like this. And you can, on the bottom, put move them up if you want. I probably would space the splatter out a little more. But I just thought this was my very first design hours and hours ago. I mean, this was like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon that I did this one. And I just really liked that. And I would pop the bunnies up. I've got a big piece here. I can pop them up. And this is where I was exploring the idea of breaking this into 2 separate images, and I decided that it just wasn't going to work. So that's that particular one. And I want to see if I can do something with the 2 stamped images. I didn't even do any basic stamping, and now I'm out of time. I have used up my allotment. pop him up. And we got the little chick. And again, giving some not so flowery options. So the nice thing is, this is the box piece. It has the seam right here, one of the 4 folds. And if you play your cards right, you can't even see it. So I think I am finished. Let me know your thoughts with this kit. I think this kit is great and has a lot of possibilities. It's very flowery. So I did try to come up with some not quite so flower intensive ideas. You could certainly add a lot more. I only added boho blue as a sky and that vellum because it was sitting on my desk. So there's a lot more that you could do to break down these pieces. You could cut the skinny card into pieces. The pink gingham you could cut and do some more layering. I was even thinking there could be a way that you could trim the top and bottom if you were really stretching and you wanted to get more out of the kit. You could easily cut the chicks out and then use the top and bottom pieces as borders. A lot of, like these 2 pieces as an example. And then you've got the scallops. So there's lots of layering opportunities. You could turn all of the boxes. We have 3 boxes. You could make actual ground for the bunny to sit on and do a lot more kind of scene work, I guess is what I would say. And if there's anything I missed that you think is notable, please put it in the comments. I would love to know your thoughts. And I think that's all I'm going to say. So do all the YouTube things. Again, comments, questions, concerns, please leave them on this video. I will have all of the supplies. I did not use very many supplies. That was kind of a mental goal to myself, was to really limit the supplies that I was going to use, and I didn't need any more sentiments. I didn't add any more bling or trim than what was provided. Again, this particular trim is last month's trim because it's already open, but what we were provided in the kit, I think, is roughly the same as this linen thread. And thank you so much for watching. It is much appreciated. And have fun doing your Easter and spring cards.